What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Um, Getting into this episode of GH, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I feel like this was a fun episode, a fun tribute to the late great John Riley, aka Sean Donnelly. I thought this was amazing. I loved it because it was giving me Clue vibes. Y'all remember the board game Clue slash the movie? It was so freaking dope. I was totally enjoying this. Um, it was good to see, Mac, of course, Felicia, Annie, the whole gang. Everybody was together. Robin, of course, looking gorgeous as ever. Um, I wish that Robin would come back full time again. I miss seeing her at the hospital. I really do. I know it ain't gonna be the same without Jason Thompson, but we could work around that somehow. We could figure something out. They could call CBS and see if they could get Jason Thompson on loan maybe for a few episodes. I'm just saying. But yeah, this was a fun ass episode. I totally enjoyed this. Um, I totally understand where Felicia's coming from. Like, she wasn't at that point yet where she was kind of ready to forgive Anna, not at that particular moment. Because she's still mad that, Anna did what she did and kept the truth about who Peter really was, the type of person he really was. Because I feel like had Anna would have said something a lot sooner, a lot of problems could have been, avoided. Um, that's just how I feel. Like, I feel like Anna definitely should have said something to people way sooner when she linked him to those people that tried to kill Drew and Andre and stuff. That's when she should have said something. Like, she knew the type of man he was, or excuse me, the type of boy, you know, the type of boy that he really is. And I don't blame Felicia for storming off at first because she was like, shit, you should have told me all of this so, I could protect my child. Or I would, that way her and Matt could have known something was going on, and tried to help and protect Maxie and stuff. But I'm glad, eventually during the episode, her and, Felicia did patch things up because they knew that's what Sean would have wanted. And they never, they were always friends. Felicia and Anna were always friends. So, Felicia didn't want to lose that friendship. You know, um, so I am glad that they hugged it out and they patched things up. Um, it was so freaking dope though, just to see everybody together, Robin and Robert together, Laura and Monica. Everybody just reminiscing about the past, and the flashbacks was dope too. Though I definitely enjoyed the flashbacks. I had no idea that Sean's daughter Annie wanted to be a WSB agent because she applied to the borough. She did all the tests and stuff. She went through the training program. She took the oath. But she was never called for the final test. Hint, hint. That's gonna come up in a second. Um, so she figured that since they didn't contact her for the final test, that she just didn't make the cut or whatnot. But Robert was worried about with Sean's files because they're trying to figure out if he had, the files still from the antidote that he created when Tiffany was poisoned, so that way they could use it to help Chase back in Port Charles. Um, but Tiffany, I mean not Tiffany, Annie was like, I can't give you those files. I can't give you access. Because even though she was not a WSB agent, she felt like she still took an oath and she could not release those files because the borough was sending somebody to pick up those sensitive files that Sean still had. And Robert wanted to take a peek at them, and and I don't know why I keep calling that girl Tiffany. Annie kept saying, "Nah, I can't show them to you." I respect that though, I really do. Like, she took her oath very seriously. I respect it. That goes to show that she couldn't be swayed. But at first, because I had no idea what was going on at first. It took me a second to realize I'm thinking something for real while I'm watching the episode. I'm thinking something was for real going on because Laura went out there to call Tiffany or whatever because her and Connor went to go spread Sean's ashes or whatever. So Laura went out there to call her, and somebody rushed up on Laura. Like, they rushed her. Somebody was walking up, running up to Laura or whatever, and I was like, "What the hell going on here?" I said, "Y'all got a psychopath up in Ireland." Um, so Robin was like, she found Laura's room key outside the room, but she couldn't find Laura. Um, like Robert's still worried about the doggone files and stuff, and Annie just telling him like she can't do it because she took an oath. And Mac was like he can't. Mac came back in the room like, oh, I can't find Laura. I can't find Laura. Um, but Robert and them was like, the inn that they were staying at, that little hotel spot that they were staying at, was like an inn. It's like a maze. You know what I mean? So they don't really know their way around it. But Annie does. So they ended up going to Laura's room, and they found the room all ransacked and stuff. I was like, what the hell going on up here? Because I was just watching an episode acting all stuck. I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea it was like going to be some type of mystery game or something that they were all playing. I had no freaking idea. I was like, what's going on here? Y'all got a criminal running loose? Because they ended up finding a gun and a Mexican flag in Laura's room or whatever. And I was like, what's going on? So they started thinking maybe it had something to do with Sean's old his old enemies or whatever. Maybe, old enemies of Sean were coming for his friends or whatever. Monica was downstairs, sipping her glass of water when a mysterious figure rushed her. Like somebody bum rushed Monica and caused her to drop her glass of water. I was like, what is going on up in here? Because I was getting excited. I said, is it an enemy from the past that we all know? Like, what is going on up in here? Like, maybe, they taking all, Monica and Laura, maybe they tying them up somewhere. I was getting all excited because I wanted to know who the heck was doing this. So Robert was excusing himself to, Robert about to go call the police and stuff. Annie was wondering if one of her fathers too, like if his enemies or whatever was coming at them. Robert, they all figure out that Monica's missing now. Robert ended up getting knocked out or whatever with a bump on his head. I was like, who is doing this? I was getting super hyped. I was like, I want to know who doing this mess. And then, Mac was supposed to go get a bucket of ice or whatever. Mac done went missing. So now Robert and everybody trying to go find Mac. They trying to figure out like, okay, the place gotta have security cameras. So they go in the office to go look for the security stuff. But they figure that, they see that somebody don't wipe the hard drive clean. Like the whole computer system just went dead. I said, what the heck is going on up in here? Then they heard a scream. Robert, he over there knocked out. I said, who done knocked Robert down? Yo, this whole episode was super fun. I'm like, what is going on? So Annie ends up finding Robert's phone on the ground. She looks at his phone and noticed that he never called 911 like he said he was doing. So she started getting suspicious. I said, there go that WSB agent popping up. That suspicion. So now she found another clue. She found a magnet or whatever in Anna's purse. And the magnet apparently was used to wipe the computers clean, the hard drive clean. So now she's suspicious of both Robert and Anna. So she confronted them. And, Robin was jumping in, to defend her parents or whatever. And Anna was talking about something, well, the only way to solve this case is to find out, what's in Sean's files and stuff. Maybe that could lead to solving this case. And Annie was like, I'm not opening that safe. Like, she was dead serious about her oath. And she was like, I'm not opening that safe. So everybody came out of hiding. Everybody came out of hiding. And come to find out, this was actually Annie's final test. Because remember, she said that she never got a call from the borough about her final test to become a WSB agent. This was the final test. And she passed with flying colors. Because even under desperate times, she never allowed them to look into her dad's files, into WSB records. She never allowed it. So she passed her test. I was like, oh, that was so dope. And they gave her dad's old badge and his badge number. She's officially a WSB agent. I'm super happy for her. I really am. Like, Annie deserved that because Annie she the truth. I really hope we get to see more of Annie. John Riley's daughter did an amazing job. This is his real life daughter. She did an amazing job. She really did. I definitely could see her doing, battle in Port Charles every now and then. If they can't get her full time, I would love to see her, every now and again pop into Port Charles and raise a little hell working on a case with the PCPD. I would love to see that. I think she did an amazing job on this episode. I definitely do. Um, and it was good to see everybody, gather together and toast Sean and stuff. I think that was an amazing tribute to him. I think that was a fun tribute. It was real fun. Um, so back home in Port Charles, Peter was stopping by or whatever to say goodbye to Maxie because she's about to go to the spa. He was asking about Chloe and whatnot. Um, and Maxie was like, "Oh, Chloe stepped out and Bobby showed up." So Bobby was wondering what's going on. And Maxie basically filled her in and was like, she about to ditch Chloe at the spa and she's about to go to an apartment or whatever out in Beecher's Corners. And that she wants Bobby to help deliver her baby. So Bobby was asking her, well, that all sound good, but once you give birth and you got to come back to Port Charles, who's going to care for the baby? And Maxie was like, I got all that taken care of, aka Britt. I really hope this plan goes well, but something tells me it's gonna hit some type of wall. Like I have a feeling that something ain't gonna be right. Questions are gonna be asked, and let's hope that Maxie can answer those questions under pressure. I hate that she's kind of doing this because she's leaving her parents in the dark. She's not telling Mac and Felicia nothing about this, and I hate that because I feel like it's too many secrets already that's been kept, and I just feel like it's a bit messed up. You know what I mean? Like that's their grandchild, and you're just gonna have to sit there and tell them that their latest grandchild has passed, like knowing that their granddaughter didn't pass. Like that's pretty messed up. You know what I was hoping though for Mac? I want to see more Mac and Felicia. I really do. We need to see the vets more because with Sean Donnelly's passing, John Riley's passing, like and we all know that Leslie Charlton who plays Monica, she's up there in age. She's like late 70s and stuff. These vets are not going to be around forever. You know what I mean? So I would love to see them in more story. I understand we got to make room for the new generation, but we need to do a mix of the new generation and the older generation because I need to see more. I would love to see Mac, find out he has a biological child somewhere. You know what I mean? I always wanted Mac to at least have one biological child, even though I consider him to be Maxie and Georgie's father. I always have because he's always been there for them, more so than Frisco ever was. So I do consider him their dad. But, it's just something about having that at least one biological kid. You know what I mean? That's like Wynard. Look at Neil. He always took care of Devon and Lily, and neither one of those was his biological kids, but he never treated them any differently. But he ended up at one point having a biological son. I would love for Mac to have that. You know what I mean? Even if it never happens, which I don't think it probably will. But it's a good thought. I think it'd be a good story. Um, but this episode, man, it was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought, and I'll see you on Monday. I hope you all have a great, great weekend. Have a good night. Peace.